Hi everyone. Uh, we are going to come to the last part of the environmental biology part of your syllabus. And in this presentation, we will be dealing with a few of the general topics under man and environment. It comprises a sustainable development, destruction of a few of the important habitats and its consequences like wetland, paddy fields, mangrove, rivers, etc. We also will be dealing with the ecological impacts of tourism, how the tourism is going to affect the environment and the ecology in general. Okay. So, what is sustainable development? Sustainable means like maintaining it for a longer period of time. That is sustainable. Okay, sustenance. It is otherwise in the another aspect we can say it as a survival. So it is obviously keeping it for a longer period of time. Okay, fine. Now sustainable development, the term was actually first referred by in 1980 when International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, they published a world conservation strategy, and where sustainable development was given a global priority. So that was the first time when the term sustainable development was introduced. And 2 years later, the United Nations World Charter for Nature, they raised five principles of conservation. And in 1987, the United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development, they released the report which is referred as Our Common Future. Okay, it was in 1987, and it is commonly referred as Brundtland Report because actually this commission was given the term Brundtland Commission, and the report developed by them, it is referred as the Brundtland Report. So Our Common Future is otherwise referred as what you call Brundtland Report, and this report included the most widely accepted definitions for sustainable development, and the definition goes like this: that is, it is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So, this is actually referring to all the resources which are needed or which are being used for the survival or which are used for the development of the present society. Okay, so the present society and the populations, they can use the resources, but keeping it in mind that these resources are also required by the future generations. So when we are using it, the use should be in a sustainable way. That is, it should not be in a what you call exploitation. It should be sustainable, so it should be kept for the future generation as well. Now, uh, so what is the need of sustainable development? Actually, there are plenty of what you call problems which had arisen because of the modern way of our modern way of living, isn't it? A few of them which is actually affecting the earth, they are the over exploitation of natural resources, then and hence it resulting in scarcity of resources. Then it also result in climate change, isn't it? All the what you call intervention of humans on the earths, it actually causes our exploitation of resources and climate change in various ways, right? Over exploitation of natural resources, what will happen is we are more dependent upon the non-renewable resources. So what happens is we are actually harnessing all the non-renewable resources from the earth, that in the future it will be completely used up, right? And this over exploitation, it can bring about decline of many kinds of what you call flora fauna. It is going to affect them in a very harmful way, right? Then what happens, scarcity of resources, because of these over exploitation of various resources on the earth, it actually brings about water scarcity, food scarcity. Actually, food scarcity, when we speak, the scarcity of food, it is actually more what you call affecting more severely on the poor people or on the poor sector of the world. So that is a scarcity of resources in various ways, right? And moreover, because of the climate change, that is another aspect. Because of the climate change, there is increase in global temperature, and the weather patterns are changing for the last maybe with the advent of industrial revolution in 1970s. It is said that the whole pattern of weather and various on the on in various continents including Kerala, it is changing, and it has changed so far that the prediction of the weather patterns, it is actually almost impossible. Okay, so it is all severe extreme weather patterns are being experienced in all around the globe. Similarly, rising of sea levels. So these what you call increasing global temperature, it also affects the rising sea levels, and all these, it is actually affecting the resources, and it actually depletes the resources. So it could be food resource, water source. The food resource, actually water and food are the actually essential entity for the survival of the living world. So water is decreasing because of a high global temperature, the rainfall is decreasing, the weather patterns are actually disturbed. Similarly, what about food security? That is also getting disturbed. So in that way, the whole what you call the earth's pattern, it is completely disturbed, and that is where the sustainable development, the concept, is more important. Okay. Okay, so there had been two models to explain the concept of sustainable development. There were three spheres of sustainable development and four spheres of sustainable development. But the most widely accepted, it is the three spheres of sustainable development, which you can find on the screen here. Okay, so these three core elements of the sustainable development, they are interrelated or integrated, right? The first one is environmental protection. Then you have economic growth and the social inclusions. In short, we can even refer it as three E's of sustainable development if we consider environment, economic growth, and social equity. Okay, equity. So these three E's, they form the major concept of sustainable development, or explain the major what you call concepts of sustainable development. Now, what are the different aspects considered under each of the heads? Environmental aspects, usually it refer to the natural resources and environmental protection, right? Then social aspects, it include the what you call social inclusions and civil rights of the population, of the citizens. Then economic aspects include the wealth creation, property, employment of individuals, etc. Then you can see there are certain portions where these three major concepts, they actually overlap, right? And the first one we can see, we can start from here. It is the social environmental aspects, right? So what does it include? The social environmental aspects include environmental justice and the natural resource protection and stewardship. That is, even when we are using the environmental resources for the social development, or for the what you call what you the for the population, for the society, it has to be in such a way that there is conservation of natural resources. Now, next one, we can see that the environmental economic aspect. When we speak about environmental economic aspect, here we are dealing with energy efficiency, efficient use of the resources, then incentives for the use of natural resources, even conservation of natural resources. That is what is included in the environment economical resource. The last one, it is economic social aspect, right? And it includes the fair trade, then regarding workers' rights, then business ethics, etc. So these are the three major what you call inclusions or elements of sustainable development. That is the economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection. And there should be harmonized what you call interaction between these three aspects. Then only the sustainable development is possible. So sustainable economic growth, achieving sustainable livelihood, living in harmony with nature, and use of appropriate technology, they are the major what you call aspects of sustainable development, right? um, Now, we can see it in detail. So sustainable development includes environment, economy, and society, isn't it? When we speak about the environmental sustainability, it actually prevents nature from being used as an inexhaustible source of resources, and it ensures the protection and rational use of the natural resources, so that the present generation, or the present what you call populations, they can make use of the resources in an efficient way, but also can conserve these resources for the future generations to come. Okay. And another aspect is like such as environmental conservation, then investment in renewable energy, then water conservation, supporting sustainable mobility, then sustainable construction and architecture, contributing to achieving environmental stability and on various perspectives. So all these comes under environmental sustainability, right? So you can we can see that nowadays the like more people are going for environment friendly construction and architecture. Similarly, there have been many government projects which are actually supporting use of renewable energy, like solar panel establishment and other kinds of things. Even though there are people, or there are government projects which are coming for hydroelectric power projects, but this is what, like, the most important thing is, like, there are more amount of environmental awareness. Now, with regard to the next one, we have the economic sustainability. The economic sustainability, it focuses on the economic growth, and the it also includes the consumption of the natural resources in a highly efficient way, right? So it includes employability for all the citizens, equal employability, then fair international trade, that is for rich and poor, for developed and underdeveloped, it's all equal shares are being like considered on the sustainable development, right? Then this all this economic growth that generates wealth, it has to be focused without, it has to be like taken up without harming the environment. That is a major concept under economic sustainability. Similarly, the economic resources, there should be equal distribution among all the individuals on the earth, and it should be focusing on eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions. Okay, so these you can see that comes under economic sustainability. Now, what about social sustainability? Social sustainability, it actually promotes gender equality or equal opportunity to everyone, every citizen. Then welfare and development of people, communities and cultures. Then maintenance of human capital. Then what you can see is yeah, social cohesion. All these are considered under the social sustainability. Okay, sustainable development, right? So next, we can see that uh, when United Nations were the what do you call all the members, United Nations member states, they adopted sustainable development goals, the 17 sustainable development goals, for so that the sustainability, or the social, economic, environmental sustainability can be adopted to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all citizens or all people enjoy prosperity by 2030. So it is actually the 2030 what you call sustainable development goals. Okay, agenda for sustainable 2030s, agenda for sustainable development and sustainable development goals. So that is where the sustainable development goals came into being, and there are 17 sustainable development goals, and these are integrated. That is, action in one area will affect the outcomes in the other, and that development must balance all the three aspects of sustainable development, that is social, economic, and environmental. So we can see these to bring the sustainable development, United Nations, they launched the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and Sustainable Development Goals. These goals are universal. They are integrated, as said. That is, when an action is done in one area, it will affect the outcomes of all other goals, right? And they are transformative. That is, it can bring about transformation of the society, a sustainable transformation of the society, and it aims to spur actions that will end poverty and build a more sustainable world over the next 15 years, right? Because it was actually chartered in 2015, 2005, and they are aiming for 2030 changes in the by 2030. So there are 17 goals and 169 targets to be achieved by 2030, and reaching these goals require actions from various organizations like governments, businesses, civil society, and people all over the globe. Okay, so they all have a role to play. Now we can see it in detail. What are the different sustainable development goals? The first one, you can see it says no poverty, right? That is, it referred to actually food security, to end poverty in all its forms globally, right? Related to that, you can see zero hunger. That is the second one, which refer to ending the hunger, achieving food security, and improved nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. So when we actually fulfills the second goal, actually the first one automatically gets fulfilled, right? So that is what it is integrated. Then third one, it shows good health and well-being. So here it referred to ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all the people around the globe. Fourth one is quality education. It ensures quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all individuals from the developed, underdeveloped countries equally alike. The fifth one says gender equality. That is, achieving gender equality and empower all women and girls. So promoting projects that can bring about gender equality is the goal under this particular goal. Okay, fine. Now the sixth one, it says clean water and sanitation. Here it ensures access to water and sanitation for all around the globe. Especially these kinds of problems, it arises in underdeveloped countries. So clean water availability and sanitation facilities have to be taken care in those areas. Then the seventh one says ensuring affordable and clean energy, right? So here it is to ensure access to affordable and reliable sustainable energy, and sustainable energy for all. So sustainable energy, it is actually energy, harnessing energy from renewable sources of energy, resources. So here it is affordable and clean energy, and that too, it has to be it has to be ensured that everyone gets access to these affordable, clean energy in the same way. Now eighth one, it says decent work and economic growth. So here it is to promote sustainable economic growth and employment, and decent work for all the people equally alike, right? Rich and poor. Now the ninth one, it says industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Yes, it is actually building resilient infrastructure, promoting sustainable industrialization, and fostering innovations. So it actually includes the modern science and technology, right? Then 10th one, reducing inequalities. That is, reducing inequalities within as well as among the countries. So all the people around the globe, reducing the inequalities in different aspects, okay, in all the aspects actually. Now 11th one, it says sustainable cities and communities, that is making cities inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable, both social, economic and environmental aspects. Okay, then 12th one, it says responsible consumption and production, that is ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Production, it could be industrial as well as agriculture. Now, the 13th one, it says climate action, to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. So, whatever climate change, so it has to, we have to address the climate change, and also we have to address the impacts caused by climate change in various what you call perspectives, right? Then 14th one says life below water, so conserving and sustainably using the oceans and other marine resources, because climate change, it is actually affecting more on the marine environment, both flora, fauna, the what you call physical characteristics of water, everything, it is changing. So marine environment is the most affected one. So here life underwater has to be, life below water has to be conserved and used sustainably. Then 15th one, life on land, sustainably managing forests, combating desertification and halting the biodiversity loss. So wherever you can see that the biodiversity, it is not equally what you call distributed around the globe. You can see it is made mainly the biodiversity, it is focused along the tropical belt. It could be in the Amazon, it could be in Western Ghats, it could be in Indonesian areas, Australia. So it is along the what you call a tropical belt, and the whole globe, or the whole all the nations may have to come forward to protect the biodiversity which is restricted in the developing countries. Usually all these are developing countries, isn't it? So it has to be protected. So they may have to contribute incentives for the protection of the natural resources, right? Then we have the 16th one, peace and justice, like promoting just, peaceful and inclusive societies. Then the 17th one, it says partnerships. Okay, that is obviously it is with regard to what you call interactions and partnerships among people, among the what you call nations, for the protection of the environment conservation and areas other aspects. Okay, so these are the major uh, goals, the 17 major sustainable development goals that has been put forward by the United Nations to bring about the sustainable development by 2030. Okay, so with this, I suppose the concept of sustainable development is clear to you. Very short essays will be available in your textbooks. So make it elaborate, and whenever you're asked to write a note on sustainable development for the exam, please make sure that these the three what you call the Venn diagram, isn't it? The three circles, which the three spheres of sustainable development. That particular concept with the diagram is drawn along with your answer. Okay, so it is very important for getting marks. Right? I hope it is clear. Right? Okay. So thank you.